Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Delphi Group here with our weekly market report that we put out every week. And again, we hit every target. Okay, so let's get to see what we are looking at here. Here we are at the SPY. This is the SPY daily chart here on Thinkorswim. And again, you can see here our target from last week has hit. Okay, so that target is hit. And now what are we looking at? Well, a few things. Number one, Nvda has earnings tomorrow, so we have to be really watchful of what that's going to do. So, you can most likely throw the charts and technicals out, because obviously if they post a good number, markets will probably keep going up. If not, we could get a surprise down. So you got to be really careful when looking at charts and technicals when you have some big events around the corner. Okay, well, so what we're going to do here, we have a bullish engulfing candle on lower volume. Indicators are kind of mixed below, and we did bounce from the 50-day moving average. You could see that. Okay, you could see last week's target hit here. Now we bounced. So I am just going to do what I've been doing here and here. I'm just going to move this over to here. Now, if we break this 20-day moving average, I think again we'll come down to test the 50. But technical wise, this chart looks bullish to maybe go a little higher into Nvda earnings. But again, I would caution on that. Okay, so we could go a little higher. And if Nvda comes out with good numbers, then you could expect, the indexes to keep pumping. Okay, this is contingent. If you want, I could put a contingent higher forecast here on Nvda earnings, but again, I don't like doing that, setting two targets. I would just be careful with Nvda. Okay. Qs is going to look the same, and then I'm going to look at the monthly charts because we are ending the month and some interesting things happening here. Okay, Qs as well has a bullish engulfing candle. How's the volume? Volume looks a little light. So again, obviously the Qs being the tech sector is going to be really much heavily affected by Nvidia earnings. And again, you can see our target from last week has hit there. So again, I am going to just do a contingent under the 20-day moving average, which it has closed above, okay, to something similar to come down. Now, Qs was in big trouble because it closed under the 50-day, but it saved itself. Markets pumped on the Powell speech, which, we think is way overdone, but regardless. So we could go again, contingent on the Nvidia earnings. We could go up a higher. Okay, I would expect if Nvidia has good earnings that the Qs would probably catch up to the SPY and head higher towards the all-time high. Otherwise, again, I would just be weary of a move under the 20-day down again to test the 50-day. Okay, I'm just going to make this color orange just as a contingent, okay? And then I'm going to go back to the SPY and do the same, and then pull up the monthly chart before I get to the IWM. So again, I'm just going to go here. I'll make this orange. Again, everything riding on Nvidia, but the forecast will be contingent lower, okay? And now look at the monthly chart, because again, the month we are coming up, this is the last week of the month. And what we need to watch for here now is a couple things. Number one, okay, we have volume starting to go down on the monthly chart, okay? Volume going down as the stock is going up is bearish. And then look at the CCI with the hinge. But more importantly, look at this bearish divergence on the CCI, okay? So what does that mean? Well, look, with the CCI here, at highs was about 500 on SPY. Okay, now we are almost 150 points higher, and the CCI is nowhere near that. So you got to be watched. This is something very important to watch. Okay, so something similar here. We can see what happened back here as the CCI was going down. The markets were going up, and again, what happened? We went down. Again, this is the monthly chart. So be very careful. Now, if we do come down, September is historically the worst month of the year. If we have a red September, okay, we could only see a pullback to here, which in the bigger picture is really nothing. But, short term, that's around 610 SPY. Okay, and we could be heading, if we do have a red September, then all eyes will be on the Fed meeting, okay, which I'll get to on TradingView. But watch the monthly chart. Again, we do have the rest of the week. We have Nvda earnings. So this volume bar could very well be higher come Friday. So we will check in on this on next week. Don't forget, Monday is a holiday. Markets are closed. Okay, and again, the Qs looks even more ominous here. We have 5 green in a row. Again, that's a stale green light with the volume going down as the Qs are going up. And right now that is a spinning top. Spinning tops are bearish. So again, and look at the CCI pivoting. Again, if we come back down here in the bigger picture, that really doesn't look like much. But that could be a 20 or 30 point Qs drop down to about 540 is that level. And we've been seeing a lot of Qs UOA with 550 put strikes. So they could be eyeing this 540 level. But first things first, Nvidia is on the schedule tomorrow after the close. So again, we'll have to see what happens there. Again, targets hitting everywhere, especially IWM. Okay, we'll get to IWM and then look at TradingView for some things. IWM, again, if you guys remember, we put out a 5-part forecast. Okay, nobody's doing this anywhere in the world. Okay, if you think so, please bring them to us. We had here, we went up, that target hit. Then we said we would pivot and go down. That target hit right there. Crazy enough, we went out. Okay, we put out this forecast here on that volume bar. We went out a couple days and forecasted a volume drop. That is simply incredible. Nobody's doing that anywhere. Okay, so that target hit there, and then we said the CCI would pivot, which it did. So all 4 targets have hit. Okay, so now what? Now we are coming up to some resistance here, and the shaded area is more resistance. But again, everything will depend on Nvidia, but this chart is not bullish right now. We have the CCI pivoting. We have a volume drop. Again, volume going down as the stock, or in this case, the IWM going up is bearish. And the stochastic is in overbought territory. So we could see, again, contingent on Nvidia, but if we do get a move higher, we would expect some reversals here. Again, this is around 236. So, if we get a pivot here, here's what we'll do. We'll do a contingent. If we come up to this level and we pivot, a pivot would mean a lower high and a lower low, then we would say we're going to come back down to test this support around 230. Okay. Now, if Nvidia does well and we get a breakout over 236, then we would expect a move up on IWM. Again, I'll just make that orange like the other ones, but just something to watch. Okay, let me move this over just a little bit. So, and let me just go to the bottom of that. So I'll just go right down here. Let's say 240 round number. Okay, again, all eyes on Nvidia. So let's move to TradingView now. And again, our cycle line absolutely crushed it again, both ways, okay? We actually took some put positions up here, okay, looking for a move down into the cycle line. Why did we look at that? Because if you look back here at the past cycle, okay, we were looking for similar price action into the cycle line, okay? And what's crazy in us, if we look at this, you see here where I put watch reversal. I actually put that in before it reversed, but if you look at the price action, what happened here, okay, we got the reversal, we went up, we got the reversal, and then went up, right? So look at this, very almost identical. We came down, we went up, we came down, and now we're going higher. So the cycle line absolutely crushed it again right there. Okay, so, but again, we took puts here that we cashed out down here. Why did we cash out? Because of the cycle line. So now what? Well, again, we'll have to see what Nvda does. But again, the Fed meeting is coming up here, which is, I have here in this line, that is the Fed meeting. So we'll see. I mean, do we go up? Do we chop? Do we head lower? Maybe, you know, the 50-day will be moving up. And then, I don't know, we'll have to see if the Fed pivots. I'm sure we'll get a move higher, maybe even until the end of the year. But remember, again, September is the worst month of the year. So that's it from us. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember, please like, subscribe, tell people we're here to help traders out there not only become profitable, but stay profitable. And then, again, all eyes on Nvda, and we will see you next week. Have a great holiday weekend. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you after that. Take care.